It's me again. Um, I decided to come on here and make this quick video. I was actually watching a television show today, and the young lady, yes, it's a reality show. You know, we all got to get a little dose of reality. And the young lady is trying to have a baby. And from my understanding, she's having complications. And it prompted me to tell you how I became a mom. Um, in the beginning, when I was in my 20s, I really didn't want to have kids. I didn't. I was cool living my life. I grew up in Atlanta. But when my mom got sick, I came back home to Southwest Georgia. And I met my husband here. Um, and my mom passed when I was 23 years old. And my auntie, her best friend, was fostering. And she got me into fostering. Something I never thought about doing, but I knew about foster care. And we'll talk about that later. That's a lot. And I would want to talk to my family member before I discuss that, because I don't want to put anyone's business out that they don't want out, okay? So my auntie was like, you should think about fostering. I think she was just trying to take my mind off of things of losing my mom. So I was like, okay. I was still living at home with my grandma, my sister, and my stepdad. So I was like, okay, I'm now 24. In my state, then you could not foster until you're 25. So it wasn't like I was just taking the class. I was just taking the classes, be taking it because I didn't want to let my auntie down. So I really didn't take it serious. So when I got through with the classes, I think I was 25 then, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I had to be 25. I had finally moved out, got my own place. Me and my boyfriend at the time were living together. They called and told us they had a baby. Me? Okay, let's do this. First thing my grandma said, who gonna give you a baby? Yeah, that's what I would have thought. Fell in love with the little guy. Just cute. He was born on Christmas. Fell in love with the baby. So a family member decided to adopt the baby. So of course, I had to give the baby back. I didn't like it. I was like, okay, I'm not doing this. Nope, nope, nope. And this time, between giving the baby up in a few months, my husband and I got married. So my first child is my husband's biological daughter. That's my oldest daughter. I do not call her my stepchild. That's my daughter. My husband is not my stepchild. My husband is not my step-husband. So that is my daughter. Because I don't say, oh, this is my step-husband. No, that's my daughter. And it bothers me when people say, ain't your oldest daughter your stepdaughter? No, that's my daughter. Point blank, period. We don't go there. So, like, okay, we got a daughter. My husband always wanted a son. So, in our head, thinking, okay, we would have a baby, right? I'll let him tell that part when he feels like it, because that's his testimony. My husband had a health issue. We'll get more into that when he's here. I don't want to discuss that without him. So we fostered again. We had an older young lady. She was like 15. I'm like, you ain't calling me mom. We sisters. Love her to pieces. She fit right in. That was my little sister. And some of the things these kids go through just tear you up. Love her to death. So, of course, she went back home We like, okay, we done. I'm not doing this no more. Because I get attached and my heart get broke. So the thought was, okay, we're going to close the house. We're not doing this. We just going to have our kids, the natural, that wasn't our story. So they called us to the office because when you close your house, you have to fill out paperwork. Caseworker set us up. Go in. It's this little baby. Cute as he want to be. He had to be 5 months. I'm saying 5. He could have been 6. He's 20 now. Okay, so that tells you how long ago it been. I don't remember. So we give him, they let us know his story. He was going to be up for adoption. He had been in the system since he's been born. And the homes that they put him in, he had a heart condition. And different things were going on that, they had to move him. So I'm like, oh, here we go again. So they was like, just foster him till we find a home set up. Like, just go home and just take him home. Call my grandma. Grandma's like calling the news. My grandma was like calling the news. She had to call all her sisters because next thing you know, a couple of days, here come clothes. So this baby ain't going back. You know this, right? So we fell in love with this little guy. Oh my gosh, he's the cutest. He still have me wrapped. He's still pimping me. That baby stole my heart. Now he's a 20-year-old adult. And he's still in my heart. He unbroke my heart. He moved out on me. He promised me he would never leave me. He ain't right. So, fast forward. So, it was just us, our 2 kids, family. So, about a year later, here come these 2 little cute girls. Oh, here we go again. Me and tell you, we were fostering still. But I tell people, when you foster, you know your children. You know when God sent you your babies. I think our girls were 5 and 6. They may have been 5 and 6. They may have been 4 and 5. I don't remember. They are now 28 and 27. They're moms. That tell you how long. So here these 2 little cute girls. Yes. So they were with us about 3 months. And the oldest came and asked us, can we call you mom and dad? What? Me? You choose me? That's how you feel. Well, that's how I feel. You choose me to be your mom? I'm already feeling like your mom. You know what I'm saying? It's the difference from going through 2 to 4. And then also my sister is a year older than our oldest daughter. So that's 5 kids. 4 girls had to do going to school and working. Wouldn't trade it for the world. They were with us about 6 months. We knew that it would be a chance that they would go back home. But I still knew they were my girls. You know what I'm saying? So it did happen. They went to a group home so they could be together with all their siblings. The foster agency we work with, it's a therapeutic foster care system. It's a small agency. And I know a lot of people get scared when they say therapeutic. Yes, they do have kids that they work with disabilities and illness, but sometimes it's just because they come from a large family. It may be more siblings and one family can't take them all. So is where, in our case, they had other siblings that went to other foster parents that we were friends with, we took classes with, we did events with, so that they could still spend time with their siblings. So like I said, 6 months in, they wound up going to a group home where they could get all the siblings together to transition to go back home. I'm done again. close the house, shut it. This time we shut it down. I mean, everything, paperwork. That they kept saying, but y'all are good foster parents. No. We're not doing this no more because I'm not gonna lie. When you foster and you fall in love with them kids, they go home. It's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. So they were gone about 4 months. But before they left, we sat the girls down. We let them know, if you ever need us, call us. I don't care what it is. They always knew our cell phone number. They knew my grandmother's number. My grandma's number has been, well, she passed now. My grandma's phone number was the same since I was 9. So that tell you, if you want to look for me, that's how you find me. So we get a call about 8 o'clock at night. It was our middle daughter. I'm not going to say their names. She say, Mom, Dad, can we come home? What? Yes, you can come home. You can come. Not thinking, I'm just thinking like, okay, I go pick up my children. Oh, you got to open your house back up. They got to come because we moved. So that means they got to do the walkthrough and everything. But the agency already knew what was going on. We just didn't know. So I'm thinking, then I thought about, what? We got to do this. So the office manager came, did everything. We didn't have nothing, no beds in the room. We had enough rooms. But because we were done, one of the rooms was my gym. Oh, that can go. I don't care where you put it, get it out. So they opened our house back up and our girls came back home. Best feeling ever. I remember the day we adopted our son. I remember the day when we adopted our daughters. And it was a little different with our girls because they knew. But it was just such a joyful day. Our son didn't really know. Well, he didn't know because he was a baby. So our family was complete then. And we'll get more into the stories and the detail. And maybe I'll get them to share how they feel. Only thing I want to say, and I want to say to speak to the women. I know when you think about becoming a mom, you want to have your own children. And you feel that you can't really bond with a child you didn't carry. That's so not true. That's so not true. I didn't have my kids, but they were my kids. God had already planned my life for me, how I was going to become a mom. And as I sit here today, my kids are grown. I have grandkids now. I would not have changed it for the world. Yes, sometimes I would want to know how would our kids look if me and my husband had a child together. But then I look at our 4 children, they would look like them. Because when people see their face, the pictures of our kids, they always say, oh, she looks like you. He looks like you. She looks like her dad. And then when you see the personalities, those are our kids. Because I promise you, they don't get more like us. We couldn't did that. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I hear them saying something, and I always tell my youngest, I say, you your dad's child. Blood ain't got nothing to do with that. That's love. You love them babies, they gonna love you back. And yes, as a woman, I have had people to tell me, oh, you'll never know how it feels to be a mom because you didn't carry your kids. Yeah, I know how it feels to be a mom because my kids chose me and I chose them. And it's nothing I wouldn't do for my kids. And they always say, Mom, you just overprotect them, my babies. And now that they gave me grandbabies, oh, we'll get into the story about the grandma part. Didn't nobody tell me. That's a different kind of love there. But it's so many kids out here who needs a great mom and a great dad. And even if you do have kids of your own and you thinking about maybe a little older, stuff may have happened, consider just look into it. You never know. There's so many kids out here who need to be loved. And when you love them and pour into them, they love you back. To hear my kids, Mom, Dad, or come get your grandbaby. Okay. I can't keep talking about them because I cry every time I think about my babies and seeing the people that they become and know that we played a part in this. And then sometimes I think, where would they have been if it wasn't for us? Where would we have been if it wasn't for them? My kids made me a better person. When I'm weak and I don't think I can push through, I look at them kids and I get so much strength from them. When they driving me crazy, yes, they grown, they still drive me crazy. But I wouldn't change my family for nothing. So ladies and gentlemen, don't make it, if you adopt or whatever your story, just because you did not have that child biologically, that doesn't make you a less of a parent. Sometimes I feel it makes us better parents because you love someone that don't have your DNA, that you didn't create, but you still love them unconditionally. No, we may not have the same bloodline, but you can't tell us we don't. We have that thing called love. And my babies are my babies. And they get mad at me when I call them babies, but they're going to be my babies until I leave here. So, you never know what God has for you. You never know your story God has for you. But I just hope this video helps someone who may be struggling. That's all I want to say right now. Talk to you later.